Final. Cup championship bound, baby! Woo! Big cup, baby! Woo! The year, man. It got a little crazy out there, but we made it through.
We're gonna keep stacking the day, so see you in the championship.
Bow! Let's go!
June 17th wasn't just another game. It was sweet revenge. Think back to May 30th, when J.C. Sheldon and the Connecticut Sun left Sophie Cunningham and Sydney Colson hurt on the court, and those cheap shots went ignored. Well, the Indiana Fever didn't forget a thing. And when Sheldon jabbed Caitlin Clark right in the eye during the rematch, it lit a fire. What followed proves exactly why you don't come for Clark's crew. Because Sophie Cunningham was locked in and ready to unleash the most glorious flagrant foul you'll ever witness.
It was chippy the last time these two teams faced off too. Sophie Cunningham suffered her ankle injury in that game, but in addition to that, she actually had part of her front tooth knocked out. She made contact with J.C. Sheldon as Caitlin Clark knocks down the triple.
But what people don't talk about enough is how hard you have to work to be able to be that good. All the hours that she's spent perfecting her craft.
Retreating, firing, and hitting.
So she can do that.
On Indiana arguing the call.
I mean, step back, you're late. She almost looks you in the eye.
Picture this. May 30th, Indiana Fever versus Connecticut Sun. And everything unraveled for the Fever in the worst way imaginable. The game began like any other, two WNBA teams battling for position. But the Sun brought a level of physicality that pushed past fierce and into outright reckless. From the opening tip, you could feel the tension crackling through the air.
Can we talk about the physicality for a second? Two players on the Indiana Fever got injured last night by the same player on the Connecticut Sun, and that was J.C. Sheldon. And I tweeted about it. She was playing so reckless. I'm fine with players playing aggressive, but there is a thin line between playing aggressive and playing reckless. When you dive for a ball, you don't land on somebody's leg. She landed on top of Sydney Colson's leg, and her leg got stuck and literally twisted around. Both injuries, both Sydney Colson and Sophie Cunningham, were contact injuries.
Sophie Cunningham went down first after what looked like a deliberate hit. The contact was brutal, way too much for a routine basketball play. Then Sydney Colson took a shot in another shady sequence that left everyone wondering what was really going on out there. The kicker? J.C. Sheldon was at the center of both plays, bringing an aggressive edge that made your blood absolutely boil.
They weren't non-contact. They weren't ACLs. They weren't Achilles. They were contact injuries caused by the same player. And this kind of physicality that the WNBA they brag about. They say it's always been a physical league. That's just the heart of the It's not good basketball. And we've seen so many injuries. Paige Becker's out with a concussion. Rakia Jackson was out with a concussion. All of these injuries are contact plays. We've seen Caitlin Clark last year get chucked to the ground. We saw Angel Reese get clothesline chucked to the ground. The players continue to do it because the refs are allowing them. Why wouldn't you keep doing it if you're a physical player?
Here's where the college history heats things up. Sheldon and Clark had been clashing since their Iowa versus Ohio State battles. Back then, Sheldon made it her goal to rattle Clark every time they shared the court. She shadowed her non-stop, threw bumps on every screen, and never missed a chance to talk trash during dead balls. This wasn't just a game anymore. This was personal.
Her mortal enemy took out a player. J.C. Sheldon. Caitlin Clark's mortal enemy, J.C. Sheldon.
The refs that May Day let it all slide, like they were watching a different game than the rest of us. Hard fouls, no whistle, dangerous plays, ignored. Clark had to stand by as her teammates went down while Sheldon skated by without even a warning. With every possession, the frustration grew. The Fever battled to the end, but fell 85-83. More than just a loss, they were down two key players, injuries that could have been avoided if the officials had done their job. Sophie Cunningham and Sydney Colson were out, and their absence hit hard in the games that followed.
This is a reckless play. This is reckless. It is dangerous. And this angle makes it look even worse.
It is dangerous. Like, Sid Coulson is between her and the ball. Sid Coulson is, in fact, between JC Sheldon and the ball, and she dives through her knee. It wasn't even called as a foul. It wasn't even called as a foul.
You could see it in Clark's eyes after that loss. The way she stared down Sheldon in the handshake line. The edge in her voice during the post-game interview. This wasn't finished. Not even close. The Fever would remember every detail. Who threw the hits, who got hurt, and how the refs just let it all slide. June 17th couldn't come fast enough. And when it did, Clark was back from her quad injury, fresh off a dominant win over the undefeated New York Liberty, and locked in to face the Connecticut Sun again. It was just her second game back after 3 weeks off, but you could tell she hadn't forgotten a thing. The way she stepped onto the court, the way she stared down the sun during warm-ups. This wasn't just another game, not for her.
She just texts me. She never texts me during the game.
All right. Here is Clark splashing home a three from way downtown. Kelly escorting her back to the bench.
JC Sheldon is there on it. With her hand in her face.
The game tips off with that same thick tension hanging in the air. Sheldon's on Clark from the jump, guarding her like everything's on the line, way too close for comfort. She's glued to Clark on every possession, throwing bumps on screens, doing all the little things that turn basketball into a brawl. It's the same reckless intensity that sidelined Sophie Cunningham and Sydney Colson back in May. And everyone in the arena can feel it. Something's coming.
And Caitlin Clark are talking to the official. They're both going at it saying, hey, oh, there's a little extra right there. Uh-oh. And Marina steps in to protect JC.
Third quarter hits, and here comes the moment that flips everything. Clark is bringing the ball up court when Sheldon steps in to defend. She reaches in for what looks like a steal, but her finger goes straight into Clark's eye. The contact is instant and impossible to miss. Clark's head jerks back from the impact. You can see it clear as day.
Third quarter we go. They're trailing by 10. Keep an eye on her and JC Sheldon. Clark trying to back her down.
Here is if Clark is okay.
Sheldon, that was Clark, hitting her in the face. Clark is upset about that. Then everybody's upset about that. Marina Mabrey comes in. She decks Clark, tempers flaring on both sides.
Clark instantly grabs her face, pain and fury flashing across her expression as she realizes what just happened. She's squinting, trying to blink it out, but you can tell this is more than just physical. She knows exactly who did it. The same player who took out her teammates is now coming for her, using the same dirty tactics that slipped by the refs last time. So Clark does what any true competitor would. She pushes back, literally shoving Sheldon away after taking a finger to the eye. It's instinct, pure and simple. Anyone would do the same. The crowd explodes because they all saw it. But unbelievably, the refs are about to make things even worse.
Hey.
I mean, is that displacement? I think it is.
Oh, and Marina Mabrey's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected.
Well, they're going to go and look at it. Look at Mabrey. She's got a scar on one side, a scratch on one side of her face, a scratch on the other side. It's not from the game today. I asked her about it. She's always in the mix. There's a lot of contact here. There's a scrape across the face. That's what Clark didn't like.
Clark standing there, clutching her eye, clearly the victim of a dangerous play. Yet the officials reach for their whistles. The arena erupts in confusion and outrage. Fans are pointing to the replay boards, where the eye poke is plain as day, but the refs aren't budging. Instead, they hit Clark with a technical foul for pushing back after getting jabbed in the eye. A technical foul for defending herself. The call makes zero sense to anyone watching. Clark had just dropped 32 points in her first game back from injury, and now she's being punished for reacting to the same player who took out her teammates. The message this sends? That targeting Clark comes without consequence, and if she stands up for herself, she's the one who'll pay the price. But that eye poke? That was just the spark. Because Marina Mabrey saw it all go down, and she was about to raise the temperature to a whole new level.
Take another look as we try to figure out what exactly went down. So you see her get hit in the face. JC Sheldon doesn't like that, and everybody on the team doesn't like it. Marina, trying to have her teammates back, pushes her down. You see a little bit of drama all the way around. Tina, Charles, Clark, and Mabrey, they received technical fouls. Sheldon received a flagrant 1 foul.
Right after Clark gets slapped with that bogus technical foul, Marina Mabrey decides she's done watching and takes matters into her own hands, in the worst way imaginable. Clark is still trying to shake off the eye injury when Mabrey storms over and does something that leaves everyone in the arena absolutely stunned.
That's what Clark didn't like. Then Mabrey came in with a bump.
And Mabrey's day is almost assuredly going to be done. But both teams.
This wasn't basketball contact. This was straight up assault. Mabrey body-checked Clark like it was a hockey game, not the WNBA, sending her crashing backward to the court. The hit was blatant and completely uncalled for, so obvious that even the most casual fans could see it for what it was. Clark hit the floor hard, stunned, and you could see it in her face. The shock of realizing that yet another Connecticut Sun player had just taken a cheap shot at her.
And then Marina Mabrey comes out of nowhere and chucks her to the floor. Now let's watch this in slow motion. Here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin, swipes her in the face. There's one. Going for the ball, swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin's gonna have to start wearing goggles. And then Caitlin pushes her off of her, like, why are you still in my face? Marina Mabrey, bat out of hell, chucks Caitlin Clark to the ground.
The entire Fever bench leaps to their feet because they've just watched their star player get assaulted right in front of the referees. Players are pointing at Mabrey, yelling at the officials, pleading for someone in stripes to finally step in and do their job. The crowd is losing it, roaring with disbelief as this unfolds right on their home court. Coach Stephanie White is on the sideline, completely unhinged, screaming at the refs who are somehow still missing what's happening right in front of them. She's waving her arms, pointing straight at Mabrey, desperate to make them understand that this has gone way past normal basketball contact. White knows exactly what's happening. Clark just got targeted again, and the officials are about to blow it. Again.
Now after this, you guys, of course, the referees are going to review the play because that's a lot of contact going on right there. That's a lot of unnecessary contact. That's a lot of non-basketball contact happening during this play, right? So the 3 referees that I like to say, they got them straight out of Sephora because I don't think these referees have ever refereed a professional basketball game in their life. They took these referees, they were at the monitor, they looked at it for, I'm not even exaggerating, you guys, like 15 minutes. 15 minutes they are watching this play over and over.
The refs hand Mabrey just a common technical foul, the exact same penalty they gave Clark for simply defending herself after getting poked in the eye. Let that sink in. Clark gets jabbed in the eye and pushes back. Technical foul. Mabrey straight up body checks Clark to the floor in retaliation. Also a technical foul. The math doesn't add up, and everyone in the arena knows it.
The announcers here are saying, of course, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected because that was unwarranted. She literally came out of nowhere and chucked Caitlin Clark. There should be a flagrant 1, of course, on JC Sheldon because she swiped her and hit her in the eyeball. Whether it is intentional or not, you can still have a flagrant a flagrant foul called on you, whether you are trying to intentionally hurt somebody or not. But this is what they called, you guys. This is what they called. Caitlin Clark, Marina Mabrey, Tina Charles were assessed with technical fouls on Tuesday. Caitlin, Marina, and Tina Charles technical fouls. That's it. Technical fouls. That's it. And JC Sheldon was assessed with a flagrant 1 foul, and no players were ejected.
White goes off in the post-game press conference. When the officials don't get control of the ball game, when they allow that stuff to happen, and it's been happening all season long, this is what happens. She's had it. She's done watching her players get targeted while the refs just stand there and let it slide.
When the officials don't get control of the ball game, when they allow that stuff to happen, and it's been happening all season long. All season long. It's not just this game, it's been happening all season long. This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete. And they're going to have their teammates' backs. It's exactly what you expect, right? Out of fierce competition. So I started talking to the officials in the first quarter. And we knew this was going to happen. You could tell it was going to happen. So they got to get control of it. They got to be better.
The message couldn't be clearer now. The officials weren't going to protect Clark, so her teammates would. Sophie Cunningham had been watching it all unfold from the bench, and she was about to send a message no one would forget. Nobody messes with her teammate. Final minute of the game. Fever's cruising with an 87-70 lead, and JC Sheldon gets the ball one last time. The clock is winding down, but Cunningham isn't thinking about the score anymore. She's thinking about May 30th, when she went down hurt. She's thinking about Clark getting eye-poked with no real punishment. She's thinking about Mabrey body-checking her teammate to the floor.
So now let's talk about Sophie Cunningham. At the end of the game, JC Sheldon is going for a fast break layup and Sophie Cunningham is running with her. And I remember in my head, like it happened in a split second and I said, oh, let's see. Let's see what happens here.
Cunningham remembers everything from that brutal May game. Her own injury, sitting on the bench in pain while Sheldon strutted around untouched. She remembers the refs turning a blind eye as her teammates took hit after hit. And now, here's Sheldon, driving to the basket. Cunningham sees her shot, and she's not about to let it pass.
Sophie commits a hard foul on JC Sheldon. Again, as JC Sheldon is going up for a layup, Sophie bear hugs her and takes her to the ground. What I will say is Sophie did not grab her and throw her to the ground. She didn't body slam her. She didn't do anything, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm biased here, but I'm going to give you guys my straight up honest opinion on this. She bear hugged her, took her to the ground. Yes, it was intentional. It was absolutely intentional.
She lines up Sheldon and delivers the most satisfying, flagrant foul you'll ever witness. Cunningham grabs her hard, wraps her up, and drags her to the floor. This wasn't a basketball play. This was payback. This was justice. This was Sophie Cunningham making it crystal clear. You don't mess with her teammates. The officials hit Cunningham with a flagrant 2, and she's automatically ejected. Sheldon and Lindsay Allen get tossed too for jumping into the fight. 3 players ejected, but the message was delivered. Justice finally hit the court.
It was, to me, payback for what was happening the entire game. But she did it in a way that she wasn't going to injure JC. She was just making it known, like, if the refs aren't going to handle it, I will handle it. We'll take care of it, but this is not what you're going to do when you come into our house. It was an intentional foul. It was a hard foul. She brought her down. But with that, you guys, JC Sheldon got up and she was ready to go. So as you guys can see in this video, a whole scuffle breaks out. Sophie and JC are going after it. Both teams are running over, trying to break it up. It kind of goes into the fan section a little bit.
Clark finishes with 20 points and 6 assists, leading the Fever to an 88-71 win that felt like way more than just a victory. Natasha Howard notches her 50th career double-double with 16 points and 12 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell chips in 17 points. It was a full team effort, but everyone knows what truly mattered.
A rare miss at the rim for Aaliyah Boston, the league's top field goal percentage shooter in the WNBA, but it's Boston who comes up with the steal and the find to Howard. Clark working on the rookie. Clark on the drive. Hang, shot too strong. There's Howard to clean up.
And Clark working off the ball, comes off the stagger,
Third year in her WNBA in terms of setting up her teammates. Clark behind the back beat inside. 2 more for Howell.
This wasn't just about beating the Sun. This was the Fever showing they won't be bullied, they won't back down, and they always protect their own. The win sends them to their first ever Commissioner's Cup final, but more importantly, it sends a message to the entire league. If you come after their players, you'd better be ready for the consequences.
The Indiana Fever fans were chanting, "Sophie, Sophie." Sophie's jersey is going to sell out tonight. She's going to be in the All-Star game tonight just from this one play because she was standing on business. It wasn't a dirty play. It was an intentional foul and it was meant to send a message. It turned into a scuffle and I don't think anybody wanted that.
The Fever got their revenge after that brutal May 30th loss. Clark got her justice after the eye poke and the body check. Sophie Cunningham became a hero for stepping up when it mattered most. Sometimes, the officials won't protect you, but your teammates will. That's exactly what happened on June 17th, when the Indiana Fever showed the basketball world they're not backing down from anyone.
Oh, and Clark just took it away. It's a 2-on-1. Clark, bounce pass, pretty fine, and Mitchell won't miss from there.
This game proved the Indiana Fever aren't just talented. They're a family that fights for each other when it matters most. When the officials won't protect their players, teammates like Sophie Cunningham step up and handle it themselves. That's what real loyalty looks like in professional sports. Now, the Commissioner's Cup final awaits on July 1st against the Minnesota Lynx. And after watching how this team rises through adversity and stands united, 2025 is already looking brighter for Fever fans. Remember this moment the next time someone says loyalty doesn't exist in pro sports, because Sophie Cunningham just proved them wrong. If you ride with the Fever, drop a comment below, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a moment.
Caitlin Clark says, how do you say bang in Portuguese? It don't matter! Bang! For a preseason game, they flew up from Brazil, lost by 64, and got to make TikToks with Caitlin Clark after the game. Where do I sign up? Bang! Not sure why they played the game in Iowa, because Caitlin Clark, she was still shooting the shot from South America, baby! Bang!
Caitlin Clark found herself utterly stunned, and this time, it wasn't because she sank a shot from the logo or broke yet another record. Not at all. It was something far more unexpected. The whole Brazilian national team, along with their coach, offered such astonishing praise that even the most composed star in basketball was left at a loss for words.
The team were lining up to get autographs. She signed their jerseys. They were getting them to sign. They were getting her to sign their jerseys. She was signing the players' jerseys. This is like Dream Team. This is literally like Dream Team stuff. We haven't seen this since the damn Dream Team. She is literally signing the jerseys of teams she played against. She is signing their jerseys. They're that much in awe of her.
This wasn't your typical "she's amazing" cliche. It was a show-stopping moment from a seasoned basketball veteran, and Caitlin was left blinking like, did that really just happen? Picture being praised so openly and unexpectedly that it feels like a defining moment in your career. That's the magnitude we're talking about. And guess who faced the very same squad just days earlier and didn't receive that kind of admiration? Angel Reese. And she's not happy about it. Drop a comment with where you're tuning in from so we can see just how far the CC fan base stretches across the US and around the globe. Let's get it.
How are you? Good, how are you?
Are you an amazing player? Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're changing the history in basketball.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming here.
Let's take a moment to truly soak this in. Brazil, the land of samba, soccer legends, and mouth-watering steaks, has now made room in its cultural heart for Caitlin Clark admiration. Who saw that coming? In a simple preseason exhibition, not a championship or high-stakes clash, Caitlin commanded so much attention, she might as well have shifted the sport's center of gravity. Brazil's head coach, a veteran, likely coaching since before many fans were born, watched her play and reacted like he'd just witnessed the female version of Michael Jordan. This wasn't just praise, it was pure reverence.
The team she played against last night, and I understand a lot of this team was young, but the team she played against last night, getting pictures with Caitlin Clark at the end of the game, having her literally sign their jerseys, and those jerseys, you better believe the coach of the rival team being in shock. Like, this is the dream team. This is the dream team. This is the opponents getting pictures with the dream team.
And it didn't end there. The coach didn't just hand out compliments and move on. He nearly sanctified her then and there. This wasn't the recycled flattery from a faded commentator stuck in the glory days of the 90s. This was authentic, elite-level admiration. He spoke of her like she was a legend come to life, as if she'd descended from Mount Olympus, grabbed a basketball, and chosen the WNBA as her side hustle. And coming from a man whose nation treats soccer as sacred, that level of respect is nothing short of golden.
Brazil, their coaching had no answer whatsoever for Caitlin Clark, and they threw so many different looks at her. Like, I've never seen a team throw so many different looks at a player.
But hold on, it gets even better. After the game, Caitlin didn't just exit like a typical star. She stuck around to autograph Brazil's national team jersey because they asked her to. Let that sink in. Caitlin Clark, basketball's brightest star, signed their jersey like it was just part of her routine. But that wasn't just ink on fabric. That was a generational stamp. That was the Mona Lisa putting her name on the Sistine Chapel.
There you go. That's one, guys.
Go viral with that shot, man.
I know, I'm crazy.
After you do that, can we do a TikTok video?
And here's the kicker. Caitlin didn't do it with a shred of ego. There was no smug grin, no dramatic pause to fix her shades. She signed that jersey with poise, warmth, and the kind of effortless humility that makes you question if she's a real human or the blueprint for the ideal athlete. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is out here blocking fans and tweeting that she doesn't have time for the small stuff, while Caitlin's casually out here brokering international goodwill with a pen stroke.
Like, we know that we can be the best front court in this league, so just trying to do the best as we can. I think in this offseason, we got the shooters that we needed, and as you can see tonight, we have some great shooters out there, which the space is out for both of us, so I think we're in a great direction.
Just hours before tip-off, Brazil's players were out there channeling their inner Caitlin, launching deep threes and warm-ups like they were trying out for a highlight reel spoof. But after the final buzzer, those very same players transformed into star-struck fans, lining up like they were at a pop concert. Phones in hand, faces lit up, pleading for selfies and autographs like she was Beyoncé. Only this queen had a basketball in her hand.
Across the footage of the Brazilian national team dancing on Caitlin Clark logo at Marina. Man, a lot of people had mixed reviews about it. Well, it looked like that wasn't the only clip because the entire team got in on the action, bruh. Got in on the jumping on Caitlin Clark logo, stomping on it. Damn.
Caitlin walked onto the court and did exactly what everyone was secretly hoping for. Drained a deep three with such effortless precision, it left the crowd audibly stunned. She wasn't putting on a show for the spotlight, she was simply doing what she always does, shattering expectations like it was routine. The Brazilian team, still trying to catch their breath after witnessing pure excellence, suddenly realized they hadn't just been outplayed, they'd become part of the moment. Not the kind you brag about, but the kind that gets replayed in every sports montage for the next 10 years.
They were there. They were knocking her on her ass a couple of times. They were being physical. They were denying her. They didn't try to stop during the game. They just did not have it. They're so excited. They're taking pictures with her after the game. They're taking pictures. They're taking pictures with her like.
That's the distinction. Caitlyn doesn't just show up to play, she takes full command. While others are busy fueling Twitter drama or chasing brand deals that fade quicker than a missed Reese jumper, Caitlyn is busy reshaping the trajectory of the WNBA. Brazil didn't just tip their hat to her, they were completely awestruck. And honestly, who could fault them for it?
Excuse me, pardon me, just trying to get through real quick. Sorry about that. Bang! Excuse me, ma'am, hold on. I think you dropped something. Oh, it's a dime. Floater, look at that. Big it bang, boom, 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 bang. And her misses are majestic and set up her teammates for success. Look at this soft bounce off the rim, put back by her teammate. Bang! Just stand in the corner, clap your heels together 3 times and cut to the basket. Caitlin Clark will find you every single time.
You know who didn't get that kind of reception from Brazil? Angel Reese. No crowds begging for selfies, no glowing remarks from the coach, no jerseys treated like priceless memorabilia, just some missed layups and empty energy. It's almost as if respect isn't something you declare on Twitter, it's something you earn on the court. Let's be honest. When was the last time a foreign coach raved about Reese's performance? When has a national team queued up for her autograph like kids waiting to meet Mickey Mouse? In a single night, Brazil gave Caitlin Clark more admiration than Reese has managed to squeeze out of years of self-marketing. And that's the core issue. Reese keeps insisting she is the moment, while Caitlin keeps making them.
Angel Reese is now quoted as saying, "I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person." She refuses to say Caitlin Clark's name. "It's because of me too, and I want you to realize that."
And while Reese's camp is probably furiously refreshing their mentions, Caitlin's just taking boos after casually reminding the world why she's the face of the league. She didn't ask for the spotlight, she took it. And now the whole world, from Iowa to Sao Paulo, knows the truth. Caitlin Clark isn't just great, she's global. Brazil didn't just see a player, they saw a movement, and, like the rest of us, they wanted in. Because when Caitlin Clark steps on a court, she doesn't just change the game, she changes the atmosphere. And if Angel Reese wants to know what that feels like, well, she'll have to do a lot more than practice posing for the cameras. There's a reason the Brazilian team didn't pose for pictures with Angel Reese. There's a reason they weren't reposting highlights of her jump shots. Because when Caitlin Clark's in the gym, the energy shifts, the air changes. People know they're watching something special, something rare. Reese might talk like she's the future of women's basketball, but Caitlin is out here getting standing ovations in multiple languages.
Now, I thought that hate was too strong of a word at the time. Angel Reese is damn sure jealous of Caitlin Clark. She's got a lot of anger. She has a lot of resentment towards the Great White Hope. But I thought the bitterness was professional. I thought Angel Reese was jealous because Caitlin Clark is a mainstream draw.
What occurs when a WNBA icon shifts from rivalry to hatred? Angel Reese's fiery TikTok has stunned fans and left her future in serious doubt. Could this destroy her career? And why is the league staying silent?
Hey, right there. There's the picture. And Angel Reese did in fact repost this on TikTok, it looks like, and share it. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Or are you kidding me?
The WNBA's silence only intensifies the backlash, leaving fans angry and bewildered. But there may be a hint of justice coming. Rumors indicate Tyler Marsh might be giving Angel Reese a suspension.
But Tyler Marsh, he immediately earned my respect yesterday.
Stay tuned as we dissect what Angel Reese reposted, the rule she might have breached, and why many fans think the league is showing bias. So what exactly did Angel Reese share that's causing such a stir?
Angel Reese reposted this to her TikTok account. I know the image is blurry and filled with grammatical and spelling errors. I'm honestly surprised that whoever posted this originally was able to spell "the" correctly. But the message, it says, "White girl running from the fade."
Angel Reese's TikTok repost spread online like wildfire in a drought. The video featured Caitlin Clark and included the caption, "White girl running from the fade." In sports slang, That phrase means avoiding a fight or confrontation.
I'm assuming, though, that the racial connotation here is that Caitlin Clark is a scared white girl running away from the black woman. When the reality is, Caitlin Clark was just treating Angel Reese just like the rest of the WNBA audience is treating Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark walked away from the fight and treated Angel Reese like an afterthought.
Let's be honest. With Clark's face clearly shown, it seemed like more than simple trash talk. To many fans, it felt overly personal and needlessly aggressive, not just a fun dig between fierce competitors.
Reese or whatever I got told was Angel Reese about the white girl didn't want any of the fade or something like that. I thought it had to be a mistake. Somebody asked me about it and I said, no, surely to God she would not have even Angel Reese surely realizes not to repost something like that, right? Hell, I guess I was wrong.
Under the WNBA's rules, any content inciting violence or hate toward a player breaks the zero-tolerance hate speech policy. Reese's choice to repost the video sparked more than drama. It triggered widespread outrage. The timing made it worse. Clark's profile is soaring, and she's now a major force in women's basketball. But fans sensed animosity, not just competitive banter.
Talking about there's no room for hate, this and that and the other one, and you got a player that's blatantly advocating for violence against far and away your most popular player. All right, and bringing race into the situation.
Comments erupted, accusing Reese of encouraging violence, not spirited competition. One fan said, "This is crossing the line. We want to see rivalry, not threats." Another added, "You're supposed to be a role model, not someone who promotes this behavior."
Mutual respect has been replaced with disdain. And judging by Angel Reese's own TikTok account, it appears that it could be racially motivated.
The backlash didn't end in the comments. A sports podcast analyst said, "This isn't rivalry, it's a direct call for conflict." That response only escalated things. The debate shifted from whether Reese's post was edgy trash talk to whether it promoted something darker. People began to wonder if this was about basketball or something more troubling in the sport. The WNBA's silence made it worse. The league enforces strict social rules. Yet Reese's repost appeared to cross a line. Fans waited for action. None came. But when Fever fans were called out for racism, the league responded fast. That raised questions. Was Reese shielded due to fame? Was the league dodging race to avoid outrage? The silence made things feel more tense and unclear.
Right here, Angel Reese cries about racism that never happened, then goes on and reposts openly racist TikToks. This is why the WNBA is a joke and not only allows but encourages racism against white people.
Speculation spread fast. Some fans believed Reese's fame was protecting her from punishment, while others pointed out the WNBA had acted quickly in past cases. So why not this time? The league's silence spoke volumes, whether planned or not, leading people to wonder if the rules are applied fairly. To add fuel to the fire, even when Outkick's host voiced worries, the WNBA stayed silent.
My boy over at Outkick, Bobby Burack, who's a hell of a good journalist, did reach out to the WNBA. Right here, I asked the WNBA if they had a comment on Angel Reese's racist post on TikTok about Caitlin Clark. The league had no comment, nor would it address Reese suggesting she wants to fight Caitlin Clark. So much for, quote, zero tolerance for hate.
This controversy doesn't just damage Angel Reese's reputation, it shines a harsh light on the entire league. Women's basketball has worked hard to grow its fan base and gain respect, but drama like this can drive fans away. If rivalries become toxic and the league seems uneven, it's not only the players who suffer, it's the sport itself. Fans want honest competition and fair treatment, not personal attacks and favoritism. With the WNBA still silent, frustration only grows louder. The silence is causing a bigger problem than the original post. It leaves everyone wondering, is this a one-time error? Or is there a deeper issue in how the league manages its top stars?
And the WNBA is going after and lecturing Indiana Fever fans in this investigation? Are you trying to tell me Angel Reese is not going to get suspended for this, not going to get fined for this? Or is the WNBA too gutless to stand up against things like this, even if it is against a white woman?
All eyes are on the WNBA's silence. But what truly angers fans is the feeling of a double standard. The league has strict rules on hate speech and player behavior, yet this time, enforcement seems missing. The difference from past cases is impossible to overlook.
Angel Reese posted this on TikTok yesterday. Here we are, 24 hours later, and I have yet to see the WNBA launch an investigation. Well, that's strange. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Wasn't it last Thursday that the WNBA launched their No Space for Hate campaign?
The WNBA quickly rallied behind Brittany Griner within hours of her detention in Russia, releasing statements and launching social media campaigns in her support. That swift, firm response set a standard for how the league manages controversy, especially under intense scrutiny. So when Angel Reese's post blew up online and the league stayed silent, people took notice.
Sports fans are going to go after Brittany Griner over that. They're going to heckle her over that. I heard that yesterday and was like, are you kidding me? Fact, Brittany Griner got arrested in Russia for cannabis oil, which is illegal in Russia. You expect sports fans to not literally heckle her with that during a game? Have you ever been to a Raiders game, an Eagles game? You gotta be kidding me.
Fans claim that if any other player had shared this, fines or suspensions would have followed quickly. But Reese stays untouched, sparking rumors of favoritism. The irony is clear, especially from a league that frequently condemns hate. Some think the WNBA is shielding Reese due to her fame or the delicate racial issues involved.
You know, Clark set all these records on the basketball court. Obviously, the scoring record in college, the assist record in the WNBA. So many rookie records that you can't even list them off. But she now has the record for a sports card trading card, for a woman's sports trading card, because she had it go for $366,000.
Did you catch that $366,000 price on Caitlin Clark's rookie card? Nope, that's not a mistake. Someone really shelled out more for a single card than what most people spend on an entire house. And just when you thought that was insane, it gets crazier. This isn't just a record-breaking moment, it's a full-on revolution in the trading card scene. Caitlin Clark didn't just break records, she obliterated them, leaving even legends like Serena Williams in the dust. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is out there throwing shade, but her rookie cards are struggling to sell at a bargain price.
Clark has the top 30 WNBA cards, at least. So, and the boxes for WNBA cards, like the one over my shoulder, are selling at the same level or at a higher price than NBA cards, because that Caitlin Clark rookie is in there.
Let's dive into the numbers. Caitlin Clark's 2024 Panini Prism Gold Vinyl Rookie Card, graded a flawless PSA 10 and signed by her, just went for a whopping $366,000. And the best part? It's a one of one, meaning there's literally no other card like it anywhere. On the flip side, Angel Reese's signature series is still gathering dust in unopened boxes, probably just waiting for someone to finally break them open.
Angel Reese autographed box of Reese's Puffs sold for $9.99. Is that real?
This sale didn't just surpass Serena Williams' former record of $266,400. It completely shattered it.
This passes the record for a woman's sports card period that was previously held by a Serena Williams card, and this was sold for about $100,000 more than the Serena Williams card.
Keep in mind, Serena's card came with an actual piece of her match-worn gear. Clark's card? No jersey, no sweat, just sheer greatness signed with a blue Sharpie. And yet, collectors still shelled out an extra $100,000 just to own a piece of her legacy. even without a physical connection to the game.
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark, and once again, proving that she is the driving force.
And get this, Clark hasn't even started her second season yet. Most players spend their entire careers building up collector value. Caitlin? She's turning cardboard into gold faster than Angel Reese throws side-eye during media interviews. This isn't just hype, it's straight up history in the making.
Just trying to give myself some grace because I know I'm not the player that I want to be just yet, but also kind of patting myself in the back, telling myself that I'm still doing great.
That card? It's more than just a collectible, it's a declaration. It's the basketball world's way of saying, this is the player, this is the future. Sports card experts are already dubbing this the Caitlin Clark era, and it's easy to understand why. She's not just entering the market, she's completely reshaping the financial landscape of women's sports collectibles.
Every time Caitlin Clark, one of her trading cards, one of her sports cards breaks a record, and we've got a new one, and it is freaking ridiculous. I mean, this is crazier than hell. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Let's be honest. Before Clark, WNBA trading cards were practically an afterthought. Hobby shops didn't even bother putting them on display. But now, dealers can't keep Clark's cards in stock. Shops that used to stash WNBA boxes away on dusty shelves are now showcasing them front and center, and they're flying off the shelves in hours. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's cards are collecting dust, sitting there like forgotten DVDs in a Walmart discount bin. No one's rushing to grab them.
A new record for a female athlete. Caitlin is the needle. There we go. I think I just said that. Smashed the old record held by Serena by $100,000. This one was $130,000 more expensive than the previous high.
And the numbers keep skyrocketing. The previous owner snagged that Clark card for $236,000 only 4 months ago. In less time than it takes Angel Reese to make a layup, its value surged by $130,000. That's not just appreciation, that's flat-out domination.
I mean, wow. What can you say about this? That almost leaves me speechless.
This isn't just about one card either. Caitlin Clark now owns the top 30 highest-selling WNBA cards of all time, not just the top 1 or the top 5, all 30. Let that sink in. Meanwhile, while Reese was busy throwing post-game shade and declaring herself the face of the league, Clark quietly ascended to the throne of collectibles. She didn't need to say a word. It's not just cardboard, it's a legacy in motion.
Look, what are these cards going to be like in 5 years when she's got a championship, a couple of MVPs in there, etc., etc.? I'm fairly confident we're headed towards a $500,000 card at some point. We're not that far away now. I mean, we're $140,000 away now.
Collectors aren't just investing in her stats. They're buying into a cultural revolution. Think back to when Michael Jordan rookie cards soared in value because people recognized they were watching something extraordinary. That's exactly what's happening with Caitlin Clark right now, except she's not only making history on the court, she's also reshaping how women's sports are valued in a world that's finally starting to take notice.
Caitlin Clark has set a new standard, a new mark for women's trading cards, women's sports trading cards.
Oh, and let's not overlook this. WNBA card boxes featuring Caitlin Clark are now outselling NBA boxes in several stores. Read that again? Never happened before. Caitlin Clark is the reason sports card forums are buzzing with WNBA talk. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is still hoping her name trends for something other than drama. While Clark's autograph is appreciating faster than stocks, Reese's card sales are moving slower than her footwork in the paint. It's becoming crystal clear who fans and collectors are backing. If jealousy had a price tag, it still wouldn't come close to Clark's rookie card.
$97,000, $105,000, $234,000, $366,000. Unbelievable.
This isn't just about one sale, it's about a shift. Caitlin Clark's trading card success has ushered in a new era, not only for women's sports, but for how female athletes are valued in the collectibles market. And if the WNBA's marketing team has any foresight, they'd start cranking out those commemorative sets fast, because Clark just made women's sports officially a goldmine. So yeah, Caitlin Clark isn't just dominating the game on the court, she's taking over every corner of the sports economy. From trading cards to merchandise, ratings, attendance, and everything in between, she's redefining what it means to be a superstar in women's sports. Her impact is undeniable, and while some players might not be thrilled about it, they'll probably end up thanking her when those endorsement deals start rolling in. Whether they admit it or not, Clark is raising the bar for everyone. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and it's here to stay. Meanwhile, Angel Reese might want to consider shifting focus from throwing shade to signing autographs. Because while Clark's signature is breaking auction records, Reese's cards are just sitting there, quietly stat padding on the shelves. The market's made its choice, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge.